best times, he asked for 15%. But this is Mike Schumacher at his best time. So it's not what we normally do, you know. Yeah.
Let's say you're starting out, you're level 1, you're doing the plush animal. Is there a standard contract time? Like, is the standard contract 3 years or 1 year, 5 years?
We do everything, but the standard, what we ask first is 3 years. 3 years makes sense, because that allows the manufacturer to get to build up a nice range of products, to introduce them into the market, and then after 2.5 years he will get a feeling, is it worth to extend the contract or not? But 3 years, I would say, for normal consumer goods is quite okay.
Question there is there any reason why a production house would not go down the path of merchandising? Because I presume it's around about 100% if they go down this path of going through the licensing process. Is there any reason that, in your experience, have you ever seen that a company has not gone down that path?
There is actually not many which are not going down this path, but there is many who don't succeed.
Okay.
So that is the truth. I mean, I'm approached by companies about 5 to 10 times per month, and they offer me their properties, and I say no, sorry, the competition is too big, and you're doing nearly the same, or the TV slot is not right, or whatever. So most of them do, because that. I must also say that is a bit tricky, because some of them promised a licensing turnover to their investors, and I think this is quite hazardous. You know, I mean, you should. I mean, this is something you can't really promise. Licensing is something you cannot plan. You know, there is always an emotional element in it. You can do your best to make it work, and you can work with the best people, but at the end, if it works or not, this is pure guess. Yeah. So, and I think so. I would say I understand that most of them, if they have a kind of, if it's a kind of big production house, they do it all the time, produce content or whatever. They might have some basic structure, some basic legal framework already, and they say, okay, we give that to the agent and we try if he makes some profit or not. You know? But I would say, I mean, I wouldn't plan that ahead. I would just wait if the property succeeds or not. The risks. I think I have to come to an end soon anyway, but yeah, we are nearly there. The risks. I told you before, artwork has to be ready in time, about a year ago. About a year before product shall be on the shelves. The licensees need that to design the products. The marketing department needs that to do advertising and so on. The risk is product and retail cycles. You should not start negotiating a toy line in June, because the big toy fairs, the US toy fair and the European, the Nuremberg toy fair, they are in January and February. Nobody will make a decision at that point. So you have to wait another half a year until they make a decision. That is one thing. Second thing is, people need really time to produce and to ship and to get the approval and so on. A very tricky thing that applies especially to film production or game development, things, release times are postponed. And this happens quite often. So let's say a minor production company plans the release for October 2011. And they make a big announcement, and everything is coordinated and synchronized, the licensing program or whatever. And at a certain point, they find out, oops, that is exactly a week before Disney releases the big Christmas special. So they say, okay, that is a strong competition. So better we postpone the launch of our property and go to March 2012 or whatever. But this brings you in big trouble, because then at that time, retailers already agreed to list and sell your products or licensees products, and they want to have the money back and so on. That is something you should try to avoid if possible. Competitive environment, what I've just said, I mean there is properties en masse, there is many of them are quite similar. You have to check that before as well. If not someone else is doing maybe same or kind of same. And last thing is there is sometimes a conflict between the marketing department and the licensing department. I must say, for example, I mentioned these Kellogg promotions. You all know that cereal, Kellogg cereals, and they sometimes have promotions with the logos and the announcement of an upcoming film. And the problem is that marketing departments want to have them as their client, and they give the license away for free because they want them to do advertising. And the licensing department wants to have them as their client, but they want that they pay minimum royalty. So this is also conflicts which are a bit tricky and which need a lot of discussion and consideration. So coming to an end, this is a tricky business. It is a specialized business. A game producer, a publisher, the manufacturer of fashion, the owner of a fashion label, a national sports team, or a toy brand like Playmobil, or a sweet brand like Haribo, they don't have licensing as part of their business. So it's new for them. So they need to specialize in this area, and it's always better for them to get professional help, so that means working with an agent. But still then, you can't plan if it is successful or not. The licensing history is full of surprising examples where some properties failed and others went up like a rocket. And again, be realistic, try to make yourself some calculations, you know, and try to find out if what you plan is really realistic, and plan well ahead. Take your time for this kind of business. This is from my side. I thank you for your attention, but I'll ask you questions if there are any more, please.
I would like to know, you said you have 120 clients or cases
We do about approximately 120 licensing contracts per year.
Yes. Can you tell from the last year the most successful and the less successful? So to get an idea of an example.
We are quite successful at the moment with brands. But we work with Playmobil. We are the licensing agent for Playmobil, the toy brand. I don't know, you know that, and Haribo. This is a good thing, and you must understand that Playmobil, for example, nearly every child in Europe between the age of 3 and 6 plays with Playmobil. Nearly everyone in whole Europe eats Haribo or whatever. So the emotional link and the daily contact and the penetration of this brand is much stronger than a TV series or whatever. So this is definitely a trend, yeah. And within the categories, I must say we especially in the apparel business, the clothing, textile, that works well. That works well over the last year, and food as well. So I mean, you can really do in the food business. You can do so many things, and that really also creates money. I mean, food business, we hardly discuss an amount lower than 50,000 euro for a 1-year contract. But before doing food contracts, your property has to be strong. This comes in, as I said, in the third round.
Yeah, and concerning film business, books, TV series, what are their hits?
Books is a hard business. I think books, talking about you, I think it needs time to get to make the audience bigger and make it familiar with your property. TV series is also a hard business because it's so unreliable, you know. I mean, in Germany especially, there's just three TV stations which actually buy children entertainment. This is Kika, it's Nick Junior, and it's Super RTL. And you have to get a good slot in one of them. If not, you get lost. So I can't really say which one is best, but if it is a TV property with a good slot and with a good airing, and if it's going to repeat it again and again, that is definitely okay. It's a good thing. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so no books.
Yeah.
I haven't quite understood Haribo. When you say Haribo, I know their products, but are you actually making sweets in the shape of...
No. We're doing everything except of the original product. So we're not doing sweets. We're doing bed linen, a stuffed toy, the gold bear, the character of Haribo. We do that as stuffed toy.
All right.
We do
Okay.
radio-controlled cars, and sometimes we fill the things with the original product. But we don't. Same for Playmobil. It's kind of, they call it line extension. So they extend the brand into different categories apart from the original product.
Right, so it's the logo of the product. It's
Yes.
not the actual sweetie.
Yeah, is the logo,
Okay.
yeah,
Excellent.
and the brand name, yeah.
Okay.
Primarily work with Chinese manufacturers, you mentioned China as your source of production. Is that your main contact partner?
No. I mean, our licensees, they are local licensees. If we work in the German-speaking countries, or if we work in European-speaking countries, then it's they're located inside Europe, but they all produce in China. That's what they do. There's a few exceptions, but the main business is China.
How do you find
Merchant, a licensee,
Yeah.
a licensee, a merchandiser, yeah. Internet research and contacts, previous contacts and whatever. We just, we have our databases. I mean, we are in the business in 30 years. We have our database, we know these people, you know. Otherwise we have to find them by internet research or whatever.
So you do which country you do for it? German or international?
Actually, we work worldwide. We have our core business in German-speaking countries, but we also work in Europe and sometimes also abroad, China and so on. Okay, then I would say thank you for your attention. I hope you could profit something out of this workshop. And yeah, if you have more questions, then just come here and I will answer them for you. Okay?